A record number of people are leaving the UK, and in this video we are going to cover why so many young people, pensioners and immigrants are leaving UK, and is it worth settling in UK anymore?
This is a complex matter with a lot of factors at play, and today we're going to cover the 10 reasons for this phenomenon. Stick around till the end because some of the reasons will definitely surprise you.
The British Empire lasted for 400 years, and it was so big that a famous term was coined: the sun never sets on the British Empire. During that time, they colonized the Indian subcontinent for 200 years and only left 77 years ago. So you can imagine the colonial hang-up is still there. And over the years, moving to the UK was a very attractive proposition for its welfare service, economic opportunities, and overall the quality of life. Now, if you're watching this video for the first time, we are Nabeel and Zenesta, and last year we left Australia to start an adult gap year with our toddler. Our goal is simple: to create a freedom-based business and potentially find a new home. So you might be wondering, we've never lived in UK. What gives us the right to even do this video?
But a lot of people like the subcontinent. We've got really strong ties with the UK. We've got family and friends who live there, and we have visited that place a few times in the past. If life had it another way, I was definitely destined to go and live in the UK, settle there, but the universe had different plans.
And so we ended up in Australia.
Now, this first point really shocked us. The increased level of crime in the UK. A lot of people have been complaining about this, and they're really worried about this. Now, we've always considered, UK being a country with a rule of law, and you would hardly ever hear about, a sustained amount of crime. So yeah, this one really shocked us.
Because normally people want to go to all these developed countries because we feel that there is an order, there is a sense of
safety,
normality and safety. So with all these uprising of crime news, it kind of puts everyone on the back foot.
And there's a homelessness related crime, drugs related crimes, but the shocking element for us was there's a rising trend of teenagers and young people being involved in knife related attacks, especially around London, random attacks. And that was really shocking because the last thing you'd want is just walking down the street and randomly someone, especially a young kid, comes and just stabs you somewhere. And yeah, that's definitely been a big problem for a lot of people. They felt like they didn't want to deal with this anymore.
The second reason why people are leaving is because of social and political tension all throughout the country.
A lot of people felt that the society in UK has become quite polarized, especially with the left and the right not looking eye to eye. And unfortunately, Brexit has led a really big strain within society. And as a result, there's been a fallout in this whole political spectrum where you've had a revolving door of prime ministers coming in and out for a very short period of time. A number of them weren't actually elected by the people through general elections. So a lot of people have been quite tired and frustrated by this whole charade that's been going on.
There is no hiding behind unpopular foreign policies.
A lot of Brits are completely frustrated by the fact that their government blindly follows the USA in terms of their foreign policy and get tangled into unnecessary wars or even being part of the wrong side of history. People feel like they've lost their pride, especially coming from a rich history where they control a huge part of the world, made decisions around the world to be in a position where they're following another country and their decisions and their foreign policy. So yeah, a lot of people can't relate to that anymore.
Now let's get one point out of the way is we ourselves are immigrants. We have migrated to a Western country. So we are always for immigration, especially if it helps the country and the society in general and also uplifts the economic benefit for the individuals.
Now, the UK has one of the hardest pathways towards citizenship, yet a lot of people come into the country. And in 2023 alone, 1.2 million people migrated to the UK. Not all of them will become citizens, but they have migrated from different parts of the world. And this continuous stem of people coming into the country has been frustrating for a lot of people because it comes in with other elements that impacts their life.
Most probably they feel that the government has not really thought through this and it's just becoming a problem for everyone. The UK has been well known for its welfare services, and as a result, it seems to be a very good destination for a lot of these people to migrate to UK.
First things first, the NHS. It's apparently been under a lot of stress, which has led to significant delays in people receiving services. Sometimes the delays have been for months, which basically means that people have to go and avail the services from private sector, and which means that they're out of pocket, so they're spending a whole bunch of money. And yeah, so that's been really disappointing for people. The other aspect is around education. So a lot of the curriculum that you see in like primary and secondary education, a lot of young children are being exposed to a whole bunch of concepts that a lot of parents aren't comfortable with. They move to this country for their children and a better life, but sometimes when those sort of things come into play, it's a big no-no, making them very nervous. The other thing is higher education and university fees have also been increasing over time. We've seen that happen in Australia as well, but when we were comparing, it was nowhere as bad as it was in the UK.
There is no hiding from the fact that the cost of living is becoming extremely high. Now, whether you go to do your grocery or you want to put your child to a childcare so that you can go and do your job, everything is on the high, and there is no reprieve, no relief for us average families.
Now, the annual rate of inflation in the UK reached its 41-year all-time high in October 2022 of 11%. It is sort of going up and down, but yeah, people definitely are feeling the pinch, and that's something we ourselves felt as well in Australia, and one of the reasons why we decided to leave. The UK has one of the highest tax brackets in the world, and it's quite similar to Australia, with a high income tax bracket of up to 45% and sales tax of 20%. As people's cost of living increases, every bit of tax hurts and it pinches, especially in a situation where they feel they're not really getting much back from the government in terms of welfare services. Over the years, the gap between rate of inflation and the increase of wages has just kept on growing.
Recently, there has been a lot of strikes that are being implemented by these essential services for better wages, and it shows that
people are suffering.
Correct.
And UK has a really high unemployment rate for younger people, and that's probably one of the reasons why you see increased level of crimes within younger people.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So this whole economic conditions have made it such that people do not see a better future, and that's why they're leaving.
The rents are through the roof, and it is becoming quickly very unaffordable for people who are coming in new to the UK or people who are already existing there, living there. Especially, it is extremely high in London.
And buying properties have also become harder, especially in all the major cities. Like, you can go to remote areas and buy, but any of those major cities like Birmingham, like London, it's getting really hard for people to buy.
This is the same thing that we have experienced in Australia. That's one of the reasons why we bought a house 50 kilometers away from the CBD, and I feel a bit sad for the newer generation coming in, because I can clearly see that they do not have the affordability to get in the market.
Yeah.
And it's just so unfortunate and heartbreaking.
Exactly, and that's why so many young people have coined that term that they will be forever renters. So, and yeah, it's kind of sad.
And the last reason, which is very obvious, the unfriendly weather.
Yeah, UK is infamous for its weather. Like, it's known to be dull, and even during summers when weather is supposed to be good, it's kind of unpredictable when randomly it'll rain as well. And there are times of the year where people actually go into work in the dark and then come back home in the dark, and that impacts people's mind a lot, and that leads to a lot of people being very depressed and unhappy as well.
I know weather has a very big impact in your psychology, in your mind, in your habits, because obviously we've lived in Australia. It's a sunny country. It's a nice country. That's one thing we love about Australia.
Yeah.
So I can't feel the pain for the people living in UK, but I can imagine what it would be like.
And for us, like, we always chose to go to the UK when it was summer, so we always got great weather. But yeah, fortunately for us, we didn't have to deal with like the dull and wintry weather in the UK, but we can completely understand. And that's one of the reasons why we try to avoid living in places where, it's too cold or very rainy.
So there you have it. Those are the 10 reasons why all these people are quitting UK. Now, does that mean that UK is not livable anymore?
That really depends, right? So it depends on whether you are a local already living there or you are someone considering moving to the UK. Currently, from what we see, that there's got to be a lot of massive changes, which would mean that people would want to live there. But one thing is for sure, right? A lot of people now around the world are slowly realizing to the fact that life is short and the world is huge. You've got a lot of options around the world. So it's always best to go and live somewhere where you will feel happier, you'll feel more fulfilled, rather than being unhappy and unfulfilled in one country just because you were born there or because you've lived there for a very long period of time.
Especially for us, we have migrated to a Western country, and coming from a subcontinent region, we always are being told that, UK, USA, Canada, Australia, these are the places that you should aim for a better life, better future. And while doing this whole adult gap year, we know that places like Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, and now currently we're in Indonesia, in Jakarta, these places are booming.
A lot of people reached out to us and asked us, how did you do this? What do they need to do? So we created a free comprehensive guide. We will link it for you in the description. If that's something that you're thinking about or you're interested in, definitely go and check it out, download it for yourself and have a read. And hopefully that would help you and get you thinking about how you can get started on this journey.
If you like this video, I'm pretty sure you will like the other video that we did, which is why are people live in Canada. Now, I will link it up here. You can go and have a look at that one to see if they have the same sentiments or not.
I hope you found value and you like this video. And if you do, please do subscribe to our channel and we will continue to make great content for you in the future. So that's it for us today and we will see you in the next video. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.